first of all, I'm really enjoying the series.
Good.
So
That's lucky.
thank you for your work. It's always great to talk to the people who make something that you love so much,
Oh,
be it art or food or whatever. But,
yeah. So
I appreciate
we're like the chefs who've come out of the kitchen to
Yes.
say, "Are you enjoying your meal, sir?"
And I am.
Excellent.
I'm so much.
Good.
And I've only had about half of it. So
Great.
I'm
Yes.
excited
Can we
to see
bring
what
you
comes
a little-
next.
Yeah. Wait for dessert. It's really
Yeah.
exciting.
I cannot wait.
It's a sort of
I'm a little
flambe.
worried though, with this series. There's kind of scared what you eat. So, what was it about the series that made you want to be part of it? What about these characters?
Oh, well, I mean, what a delicious dish for actors. I mean, there's so much to get our teeth into. All the relationships are incredibly complex, but it's the sense of these women, well, for me, for Valya, who's incredibly driven. We're from a very, very, very messed up family with really kind of a lot of rage and trauma. And all of that becomes harnessed by being chosen to be the leader of the Sisterhood. And it's that being recruited by a charismatic leader who says, I see you, you're really special, come this way. And it kind of allows you to think you can do anything. And the end justifies the means, and we have set our sights on controlling the universe. So, quite a good acting exercise, really. So it was a lot of fun to just get in there, and also to work with this one.
Yeah, well, that's my line. Because, I heard she was doing it, so that's why I joined the Dune universe. And also, a man was fitting my TV, and I said, I've been offered the part of Tula Harkonnen, and he got down on his knees. So I was like, I think I'll play that part. That sounds good.
So you have a great dynamic, sisterly dynamic, but also like you're different leaders in different ways. So can you discuss that and that your roles on as both sisters and leaders?
Well, Olivia and I have known each other for decades. We were at the Royal Shakespeare Company at the same time, back in the...
Yeah.
And...
The last millennium.
Yes. And we both have a theatre background and a very kind of muscular sense of storytelling. So this was really great to get into. But in terms of the sisterhood, I think that as sisters, they have many terrible shared secrets, which they have to keep each other close to protect. And they also have that just like older younger sister thing that is, anybody can recognize. The older sister's very domineering, the younger sister's very sort of apologetic and quiet, and I think it's very, very recognizable to us. We both have siblings, and yeah.
Emily had a brilliant idea when we first started discussing the job to go and look at the portraits of the Tudor kings and queens and the various sisters and cousins of Elizabeth I and how she disposed of them.
How'd it work? Was that helpful?
Well, there are so many extraordinary parallels if you think of family and grudges and religion and but also they wrote letters of love to each other, these crazy
and it was
Tudors.
Really a police state where everything was spied on and controlled. And that they say that the image that we have of Elizabeth I now as the Golden Queen is absolutely a product of the PR of the day. So that was like the sisterhood controlling the narrative. We have truth is a commodity, we own it, and this is what's true and this is what isn't. And we use it, it's the dark arts to control society, control who's in power, who's out of favour, who's, it's quite bad, really.
Yeah, and also the ultimate ruler, with Elizabeth I, there was the cult of the Virgin Queen. There's a strange parallel with a convent and women in some sort of wisdom being gained by being chaste and away from men. Chaste in the sense of not having sex, not chaste in the sense of being pursued. But it's an interesting dynamic to explore the way in 10,000 years in the future and in the past, what women need to give up in order to be powerful.
when you're watching or part of a series like this where everybody's got their own secrets, there's this power struggle, constantly a power struggle. Everyone's deceptive. Either, maybe they think it's for good, but it often, who's the judge of, of what's good, what's right? Does it make you skeptical or more cynical of this world, especially when we're, the latest in politics and
Yeah, I think watching the news, as you're saying, is what I mean. What we play with is the wonderful. There's a great tradition of 1960s sci-fi of reflecting society, and I think it's a healthy way to play out what you don't want to see happen in real life, as the young people say.
It's unfortunate though when you see parallels and you're like, it's like I was hoping this would only be in stories, but yeah.
Particularly, I find it very hard that in so many of these plots that eugenics plays such a, who's the son of who's the pure blood this and a pure bred that, and your name is this and therefore you're that. And I was like, no, obviously 10,000 years we haven't evolved.
Also, the Harkonnens are very driven by the fact that they have been banished from their ancestral lands, which is, playing a massive role in conflict everywhere right now.
I mean, gentrification at a different level, but it's always, you don't realize it until you realize it. And you're like, wow, this
it's
messed up.
Downton Abbey with daggers, as I said.
Yeah.
You can't marry him. His father was a butcher.
Well, thank you.
That was my Maggie Smith impersonation. May she
Very
rest
good.
in peace.
I was introduced to your work with Breaking the Waves.
Yes.
I saw it in independent theater in the old days.
That was another comedy, wasn't it?
It's very amazing. From there to now, did you ever expect to be in this kind of world, in this massive Dune universe?
No. And I mean, something that Olivia and I have talked about is that when we were younger actresses, say in our 30s, we would never for a minute have imagined that we were in anything but a game of diminishing returns and that we would be pushing strollers, grannies, peeling potatoes. And here we are, controlling the universe, which is kind of fun. But I'm not used to the level of, I'm used to, Olivia probably similarly, we're used to doing things that gain traction because they're good and, you get seen because of them. And this is just like, boom, it's just out there. It's slightly scary.
Yeah. It feels a bit cart before the horse that everyone's so in love with the story, and we just have to honour that passion.
Yeah.
It has a different pressure on it.
What's the most rewarding element of this for you? The most rewarding challenge?
I love the moment when it's two actors and a camera in a little huddle and making a scene. Like suddenly it starts to fizz. And I have one scene with Chloe Lee, young actress on this, who I hope you'll meet later. And just to get the scene to come alive, and you find the place in the line that makes your emotion, a bit like the sisters, your pulse races, or you break into a sweat, or it triggers something in yourself, and between you and the other actor and the cameras, the steady cam operator catches it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Actually, in it, at the end of the day, it's the same job. It's like you're there with the camera and opening yourself to it. And one thing I'm particularly proud of with this job is the sense of the company that we have. Of, there's a lot of young actors, a lot of them early in their career, starting out, and just for us to be able to lead a company of young actors like that and kind of make sure everybody felt seen and I think the show really gives everybody a really interest, that doesn't feel like there's any generic casting in there. They're all really interesting in their own way. And I think that's a great achievement for a show like this, to just really take an interesting, great group of people and make it into a life. It's.
If you had one of the Dune powers, which one would it be and why?
I've got to get the truth. I mean,
Truth
have you got teenage kids?
Yes.
God. And the little one, I cannot tell when she's lying. I cannot tell.
Oh.
My kids don't lie.
Well, yeah.
I have to say, Valya's quite handy with a flick knife.
You'd like to do that at parties, yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
Well, thank you so much for your time. Thank you for your work on the series. I'm looking forward to seeing the rest of it.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.